Jane Halton, there's this letter of intent between AstraZeneca and the Australian government, but it doesn't really change anything, does it? We still don't know when a vaccine's going to be available. It's not imminent.
Well, in terms of when a vaccine will finally be available, you're right. We're still waiting for those phase 3 trials to be completed. But in terms of intent, it's actually really important. We're in the supply chain now, and I think for Australians, that's a really important and positive message.
When you say we're in the supply chain, what do you mean?
Well, what I mean is there are a number of people around the world who are looking to see what vaccine might be available. Now, we don't know whether the Astra vaccine will work, but in terms of people getting agreements that one would be supplied, and in this case would be the Astra vaccine would be supplied in Australia. So I think it is a really important message to everybody that an agreement is possible.
But then do we need these agreements with everyone else who's working on a vaccine as well? Because otherwise aren't we putting all our eggs in that Oxford University AstraZeneca basket?
Yes, so certainly that is one of the issues, and certainly there's another mechanism that will be available to Australia, which is called the COVAX facility, because you're right, it's very difficult to strike an agreement with every single possible manufacturer of vaccines, but the COVAX facility will have access to a whole group of vaccines, and any of those that work, and I believe Australia will most likely join, will then have access to any of those vaccines that prove successful, which would be great.
Does Australia currently have the manufacturing capacity to produce all of the quantities of vaccine that we would need?
Australia is one of a very small number of countries globally, probably a bit more than 20, but about 20, who can actually produce vaccines domestically. And so we are unbelievably lucky, and I think every Australian's probably heard of CSL. They have a great vaccine business. They produce lots and lots of flu vaccine, and they were the ones who produced vaccine for us during swine flu, which most of us would remember. So they do have capacity. Now, they can't produce every possible kind of vaccine, but in terms of the Astra vaccine, but also the University of Queensland vaccine, they certainly, I believe, would have that capacity. So we are actually very lucky in Australia.
So let's say we get the patent for this vaccine. How quickly then would it be available from that point?
We need firstly to finish those clinical trials, Lee. We can't produce and deliver a vaccine until we're absolutely confident that it is safe and it is effective. Now, this particular vaccine, the Astra vaccine, is probably further along the development pathway than just about any other, so it's well into its phase 3 trial, and at the moment it's looking good, so I think we can all keep our fingers and toes crossed. Look, we're having great success in a number of our states and territories, and we know what we need to do to slow the passage of the virus around our community while it is that work goes on. So I'm thinking probably middle to late next year.
Even if Australians are assured that the vaccine is safe, some people will still be worried because they know that the speed with which it's been produced is way faster than vaccines are normally produced. What would you say to them?
The good thing about what's going on globally at the moment is we're doing everything we can to compress that timetable, but not to compromise safety. And the thing I can tell you, having worked with the Therapeutic Goods Administration when I was in government, they will not compromise on safety. Safety is paramount here. We do not want a situation where we vaccinate large numbers of people and we have unexpected consequences of that. So I think people should have confidence that our regulator is very, very thorough. It's world class, and if they say it's good to go, it'll be good to go.
Jane Halton, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.